for the son who went missing, and he won't come late. Though he's had a lot put on his plate, fears he'd once been dismissing. Time always tells what hides in the shell. It dissolves every problem. A ring on the bell. They don't ask where he's been, and it's as well he wouldn't know what to tell them. His heart tries to toe the line from the good old time of youth. He's been there and back again, become a different man in his search for truth. The sky fades to red. No words need be said, so they're left there unspoken. Their fears are put to bed. Even if the boy they knew is dead and a new man's awoken, the protective grasp, the spell that was cast on those who've known him since childcare. The grip loosens fast. Seeing there are questions to be asked that never yield final answers. Love turns us from ourselves and into someone else. And no stone can be left unturned, no bridge left unburned. If you will the truth, but a place will be found, though no horns will sound, for the son who went missing. I knew a little boy filled with wonder, not the kind dreams in store for me. Not seeing each and every moment as good as it will ever be. But now I see a difference in jumping and landing, falling and standing, and everything is alright. Right. Now I see a difference in planting and growing, reaping and sowing. Now that all my problems are gone. I used to think that the tomorrow could hold my dreams in store for me. Not seeing each and every moment as good as it will ever be. But now I see a difference in jumping and landing, falling and standing, and everything is alright. Right. Now I see a difference in planting and growing, reaping and sowing. Now that all my problems are gone. I used to pray that civilization would change the way I wanted it to. Not seeing that the path to freedom just has to start with me and you. But now I see a difference in jumping and landing, falling and standing, and everything is alright. Right. Now I see a difference in planting and growing, reaping and sowing. Now that all my problems are gone. I used to think the road to heaven was worn and badly needing care. Not seeing that it's non-existent. Why? Well, because we're all already there. But now I see a difference in jumping and landing, falling and standing, and everything is alright. Right. Now I see a difference in planting and growing, reaping and sowing. Now that all my problems are gone. I have a friend who never lets me down. He sees me when I'm lost and makes me found. And though I hardly understand, trusting is all I need. Knowing he'll lend a helping hand, my fear will be free. There's no hatred that his love here's a song for the sky, my brother. And at times I've been weak and dismissed her. So here's a song for the earth, my sister. Tell me something, sweetheart. What scenes come rushing to the screen of your closed eyes? Do they disturb your sweet and peaceful guise? Over misty mountains you tread, and never doubt that you are on your own. Can you not sense my kin in every stone? Far, oh so far is my watchful sight, and when the sun sinks under the horizon, that's when stars shine. Somewhere far removed from man's regime, vast and eternal, hearts that can't be broken slumber in my elven long, oh so long is my helping hand. Just when the storm has spent its every minute, that's when clouds clear. Somewhere far removed from man's regime, vast and eternal, hearts that can't be broken slumber in my elven dream. Vast and eternal, hearts that can't be broken slumber in our elven dream. This time in Berlin has been so unforgettable. A full heart's peaceful getaway with friends and lovers made. Talks with open hearts, running by the riverside. It takes us back and forth in time to places known and dreamed. This time in Berlin, and I wouldn't change it for the whole wide world. Mornings in Berlin, with throats tasting of Mary Jane, kombucha and cigarettes, meditating in the morning sun, and getting lost in thought, in the love that penetrates all things, the same as I feel potently in free fall through our souls. This time in Berlin, and I wouldn't change it for the whole wide world. No, we're witnessing the good old days unfolding right before our eyes, and becoming memories. This time in Berlin, and I wouldn't change it for the whole wide world. This time in Berlin, touching the unknowable, and therefore the unspeakable. Our egos melt to one. Tender looking eyes, moments fossilized in time, deciphering these mysteries. I found my missing jigsaw piece during my stay in Berlin, and I wouldn't change it for the whole wide world. Oh no, this time in Berlin, and I wouldn't change it for the whole wide world. This time in Berlin, and I wouldn't change it for the whole wide world.
I order herbal tea, it's too late for caffeine. You go for SodaStream and we set the scene. Two star-crossed lovers in a sky of spoken words. but the ones we don't speak keep the lines a little blurred. Your eyes drift from word to word as I calmly settle in. Our sky moves quickly away from the highs and how you bends, fills up instead with a dawn of intellect and sincerity as we dance our endless dance of divinity. No conversation's too big or too small for us. And when we speak our hearts seem to call for us. You use your words to cook me up a beautiful meal, which my ears eat freely and my heart begins to heal. I tell you how I've left behind the boy that I once was, and instead embraced the man who's thankful for what he has. And I know you're not really into masculine pride, but your eyes still look at me differently as we say goodbye. The second time I glanced over my shoulder, I'll confess that when your eyes met mine, my inner boy screamed yes. But the man within me showed me clearly what I have to do. I'll express my love for you in whatever way you want me to. And knowing me, please don't take it lightly when I say that for more time with you, there are many things I'd give away. But like the sun on the dawn of a midsummer's day, I'll always send abundant warmth from very far away.
Lay back your eyes, the ones that cried when your desires were denied. Open your third and let the stars be your guides. Love sets your soul free. Love sets your soul free. We live in times of choosing sides, of taking orders from our pride. Shun the peace that pure awareness provides. Love sets your soul free. Love sets your soul free. This web of lies that needs transcending, we'll leave it right here at the door. And the pain we thought was never ending will never find us anymore. So if this world you can't abide, know it reflects what's kept inside. And liberty lies where the two spheres collide. Love sets your soul free. Love sets your soul free. not, then who's to say what is? Liberty is not a virtue, you're not alone. When your shattered heart is turned to stone. In our core we want the war to cease, but peace of mind can only find a mind of peace. Suffering is not a given, don't be afraid. All you once called yours will be unmade. Oh, you and you, I and I will never be less than a moment's with a thought's lifetime, close to each other, far from another eye. Ooh, whoa, Seek repose, we say, to those who care. But you won't find a there, here, there, nor happiness is not a finding, just wait and see. Every path you take leads back to me.
Is an apple tree still an apple tree in the height of picking season? Is a king still high-born when he's been tossed aside by treason? Well, I once met a man who'd shed every layer of skin to inspect truly and fully what lay within. He dug and invited each earthworm to walk through his door. He got to his center and found that there wasn't a core. And in so doing, he let go of his humanity. And though others might see in him insanity, I know that his shedding ventures only left him so light that his soul in the end could not help but to take off in flight. Whether flight from a foe or the flight of the angels that soar depends on the eye of the one who's keeping the score. But an angel is there to be found where the blue meets the green, and each one of us on the path that lies in between. We're told it's our purpose to heal every one of our scars, but can you handle the fear of truly knowing who you are? The layers of the onion you see do not fall away to reveal a prize to whomsoever set aside time to lay their eyes on the maddening pace of the signals that race through one's mind. still be a man.
Though he's had a lot put on his plate, fears he'd once been dismissing. Time always tells what hides in the shell. It dissolves every problem. A ring on the bell. They don't ask where he's been, and it's as well. You wouldn't know what to tell them. His heart tries to toe the line. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas rising up through the air. Up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. Heard the mission bell. And I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven and this could be hell. Then she lit.
Alright, I think we can stop the song there. Thanks for joining the stream, everybody. Lovely to see everybody here. So we are just about to dive into analyzing the Eagles' legendary tune, Hotel California. And I just want to really quickly go through the chords. Or actually, let me say this again. So we're gonna go through the Eagles' Hotel California here, and we're not just really quickly gonna go through the chords, because the chords are the meat and potatoes of this song. The story that this chord progression tells is so incredible, and I want you to take in why it is as incredible as it is. Now, I don't think I'll be doing a lot of singing, so let me just take the effects of my voice. There we go, it's better for speaking. Woo! We can keep the reverb on the guitar. Nice. So, original songs in B minor, alright? Now let's just start by going through the chords. We got B minor, F sharp 7, A major, E major, G major, D major, E minor, F sharp 7 again. Back to B minor. Just taking the story here. All the twists and turns in this chord progression, the story it tells. Again. We're at home now. Start traveling away from home, and then it goes into a very unexpected direction right here. And then a very nice resolution to this E major. And then the tension just keeps moving in a very bright way this time. G major to a D major. And then we get a little grounding down. This E minor going back to the secondary dominant of the 1 chord, which is a B minor, and now we feel at home. It's pretty crazy, right? So let's go through these chords and just analyze which ones of them are actually native to the key that we're in, and find out how important it is, once more, to actually know some chords that aren't inside the scale that you're currently playing in. We got B minor. We got C sharp half diminished, which is not in the song. We got D major, which is in there. We got E minor, which is also in there. We got F sharp minor, which is not in there. It's an F sharp 7. Interesting. We've got a G major, which is in there. It's the 6th chord of the B minor scale. We got A major, which is also in there. So we've got everything except C half diminished, C sharp half diminished, and F sharp minor. All the other diatonic chords of B minor are in there. But there's 2 more chords that we haven't covered yet. One of which appears 2 times, which is the F sharp 7, and one that appears 1 time, which is the E major, that are not within the scale. In fact, like I just said, a B minor has a native F sharp minor and E minor. But here we have the major versions of these chords. Why is that allowed? And this goes back to what's called secondary dominance and borrowed chords, which are the 2 most important groups of outside the scale chords. And F sharp 7 is what's known as the secondary dominant for the 6th chord in D major. So we're thinking of this song as being in B minor, right? But we could also think of it as being in D major. Those 2 are really the same thing. They're called relative to one another. D major is B minor's relative major, and vice versa. So they've got the same chords, they've got the same notes, they've got the same everything. They just got a different starting point from which we think about them, and in terms of which we think about them. So let's think about all this in terms of D major now. F sharp 7 is really the secondary dominant for the 6th chord, which is a B minor chord. Remember, D is now the 1, which means B is the 6, as opposed to being the 1 like before. So what has happened to this F sharp minor chord, essentially, all that's happened is that we've added the 7 to it, which is totally reasonable. The 7, E, is also within the key of B minor, so nothing crazy there. What is a little bit crazy, though, is taking this A, which is the minor 3rd of this F sharp minor 7 chord, turning it into an A sharp, turning the chord into something other than a minor chord. It's now become a dominant 7th chord because it's got a dominant 7 and a major 3rd as opposed to a minor 3rd. And this is a group of chords called secondary dominants, which I talk about all the time, which essentially just serve to add a little bit more smoothness to the harmonic motion within a key. So F sharp minor 7 going to B minor sounds like this. F sharp 7 going to B minor sounds like this. Compare that again. Versus. Do you hear that it's subtly got a stronger gravity to that B minor chord? It's because in the F sharp 7 to B minor, we have an A sharp resolving up to a B natural. In the F sharp minor 7, we got an A natural resolving up to a B natural. One of those is a half step, and one of those is a whole step. And half steps have a lot more harmonic gravity than whole steps do. So one of these is, this note really wants to resolve, and we feel a little bit uncomfortable until it does. Versus, this note could just kind of stay there if we wanted to, but let's resolve it for the heck of it. Booba versus booba. Makes sense? So, F sharp 7, synthetically added to the key of D major or B minor to make a transition into a B minor chord smoother. However, what happens here is not, we don't actually see an F sharp 7 resolving to a B minor until later on in the chord progression when it loops, when the F sharp 7 is the last chord of the chord progression and the first chord is a B minor. So it goes from the last chord to the first chord when it loops, and it's a secondary dominant resolving to its target chord. However, in the beginning of the chord progression, we get this B minor going to its secondary dominant, going to an A chord, which is the 5 chord in the key of D major. So we got surprise. This is called a deceptive cadence. We're expecting this F sharp 7 chord to resolve to some kind of B chord because F sharp 7s want to resolve to B chords. But instead it resolves up a minor third to an A major, which continues this chromatic movement of the B natural down to an A sharp, down to an A natural, down to a G sharp actually in this E major chord, down to a G natural in this G natural chord, this G major chord, down to an F sharp in this D chord, down to an E natural is the first step that isn't chromatic, and then back up to an F sharp over here. And then the loop starts again. Or So is that making sense to everybody? Comment below, let me know if that makes sense. So yeah, to finish up, we got this chromatic motion essentially happening from this B natural to the A sharp of this F sharp 7 chord, to the A natural of this A major chord, to the G sharp of this E major borrowed chord, which comes from the parallel Lydian mode, if you're thinking in terms of D major, or the parallel Dorian mode, if we're thinking B minor. And then it continues down to a G natural, to an F sharp, to an E, to an F sharp again, to a B. Pretty cool. I think that's all I wanted to say for today. So thanks for tuning in, guys. It's an honor doing these live streams with you. Hope you're doing well in your songwriting practice. If not, and you want to resolve that, then reach out. If you're doing well and you want to do even better, you can reach out as well. And I'll see you same time next week for another episode of Get Good at Songwriting. Thanks for joining me, and see you next week.